Hey everyone, my name is Rodney Smith. I'm here with Board Game Geek, as well as Kirk Dennison of Peacekeeper Games. And you brought a game with you. What game is this?
This is Rurik, Dawn of Kiev.
Okay.
Thanks, Rodney. This is a Euro-style realm-building game set in the 11th century Kievan Rus.
Not world building, realm building.
Realm
I
building.
like the distinction. Okay, excellent.
You are potential heirs or heiresses to the throne following the death of Vladimir the Great, a prominent ruler of the time. So we play as different princes or princesses that are trying to show that we have what it takes to rule the land in our father's stead.
So I'm Maria here, potentially,
Correct.
right? Yeah, all right.
So there's a full art side and side of this special ability. We're trying to show that we can rule, build, trade, sometimes fight, as well as accomplish great deeds that will.
So these are kind of like the objectives we're trying to accomplish, or these will score us points as we accomplish them, type of
Yes,
thing?
it's a multi-round game, and at the end of each round, you advance on these different historical pieces of importance, and
Right.
your accomplishments are written in the annals of history. So if you have done well in something early on, and then you don't do well later, you don't lose the progress that you already made. People remember what you did.
Right, okay.
So you might choose to focus on one thing and then switch mid-game to focus elsewhere, or you might take a balanced approach from the start.
I see, all right.
So that's how you win the game. All these wax seals refer to points. They're scored a few different ways, but the gameplay tension revolves around a central planning mechanism we are calling auction programming. And
Auction, that's this here, auction programming,
in
okay.
auction programming, you take actions based on these central actions by placing advisors. These aren't final, this is going on Kickstarter.
Yes.
But you place them, and maybe I want to build. I would play this there, but Roddy, maybe you really want to build. Play
I
a
do
higher
really want to
number.
build. I want to build. Do I put it here? Or?
You put it on top of me, push me
All right.
down.
Oh, I push you down. Nice.
Now,
Okay.
pretend we're done planning. We're not, but we would
Yes.
play all our
It
advisors.
was a very lazy season.
I would resolve my lower number first and
Yes.
get less. You resolve your higher number later and get more. So the key
Right.
tension is, do I want to go early to make sure the thing happens, probably getting less, or can I risk waiting till later and hope that I
get more stuff. Right.
You can modify your bids with coins to make it such that maybe I said, I really want to come on the top. I'm going to play my 4 and I'll add a coin to it. It makes it a 5. I did forget to bring the coin. So if this
Yes.
was with a coin, we'll just pretend this is a coin.
Yeah.
I could bump this down. This would still resolve as the printed number,
Right.
but I can modify the strength for determining
Interesting.
rewards.
And we normally place, we've got like 5 different workers. We place all of them basically.
Yeah, we take turns placing them. You can place them in any order you'd like, but then we resolve them our lowest number first. So you take your 1, I take
interesting.
my 1. The player
Okay.
with the bear first player marker takes their 1, then we go
bear
around
here.
the table,
Okay.
then do 2, then etc. And later in the game you would unlock more advisors on the 3rd and 4th round.
Now I mean, there's mustering, there's moving, there's attacking. So we have a little bit of combat in this game as well. Are we
There's
trying
a-
to like area control or just fight people out of places or?
Great question. So it's primarily an area control game. Combat is part of the game, but it's a lesser part. I like to think that if you focus only on combat, you probably lose the game. So you
Really?
generally want
Interesting.
to focus on a number of domestic things and then attack at opportune times. You can either attack rebels to get minor rewards such as extra goods or coins, or you can attack your opponents that let you move up on warfare and of course eliminate some of their ward presence.
Right.
But other things you're trying to do are primarily to build buildings where you have churches, strongholds,
Right.
and markets, these being 3D prints of what the shapes will be in the
Right, because this is
the
all
wood.
prototype.
This is prototype.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff is closer to final than others.
Right.
Each land can only take a building of one of each type. So if I built this here and you came in here later, you could not also build a church there. They do different things. You can convert your opponent's troops with a church. You can collect additional resources
Oh,
with
interesting.
attacks, with
Yeah.
the market, and beef up your defense with your strongholds. Mustering and moving are pretty simplistic in games in general, but one thing of interest in this game is attacking is a little different. It's more deterministic with the potential for casualties that you can determine by stacking scheme decks. So when I will attack, my opponent will lose a troop,
Yes.
and then I will flip a certain number of cards to try to
Is that
see if
from this deck here?
correct. I'll flip a certain
Right.
number of cards to see if I find. And you found one with the casualty listed on the bottom. If I find that, I also suffer a
Oh, I
loss.
see.
There's a certain number of cards you
Right.
flipped based on the board state when you attack. If your opponent
Okay.
had a stronger presence than you or not.
But as you said, combat's just one aspect of this. Building buildings, I'm assuming, and taking over lands, and that sort of thing. Yeah.
Or if you tax and you get different types of resources, so taxing can allow me to pick up goods in regions that I occupy,
Right.
and you fill up your boats with
Oh yeah,
different
tell me
types
about
of
the
goods.
boat. I like this little boat board. So we each have one of these for ourselves here?
Correct. So throughout the game, you are trying to fill as much of the boat as you can to get residual income. Each column of different types of goods you fill, the
I
scarcer
see.
resources take less. You get coins in between rounds, and then if you fill up enough of your boat, the aggregate or the total number of goods in your boat you can use to accomplish the trade path to victory.
Okay, so you have a few different paths to victory here. You're not just stuck on one. If one's not working for you so much, you can maybe shift gears and try something else.
Right.
Yeah, right, okay.
And then later in the game, you'll really try to focus on getting some of these additional points that you'll unlock in between rounds. We would each take a deed card. Some of them require building configurations, or they require different resource costs. And then when you do them, you get the point value as well as a one-time ability that's notated on the bottom as a bonus.
I see. Okay.
There's other ways to get bonus abilities via these scheme cards are dual purpose. You can also take several of them, keep one, stack one on top of the deck. So I could find a card with a casualty, set it on the top as trap free if you attack.
Oh, I see. Knowing that there's a casualty sitting there when they fight you, maybe.
Correct. So
Yeah.
the cards that are better have casualties on them. So you're faced with, do I want more,
Yeah.
but make your attacks more effective, or do I want to lay a booby
Right.
trap there and get less myself on my bonus actions?
So, how many people does this play?
Plays up to 4. There's even a solo player mode.
There's a solo mode as well. Okay.
Correct. You fight to put down a rebellion in the land.
And about how long does it take to play the game, would you say?
30 minutes per player.
Okay.
One thing of note about this game is it's by a Russian designer, Stan Kordonsky. You may know him from Dice Hospital, the
Okay.
designer of that. And
Yes.
then we have a Ukrainian artist that did a lot of the character art and a lot of the landscape. So we have two cultures that are represented in developing this game, that their historical background, their countries both came from Kiev and Rus. So
Is that sort of informing what we're seeing here in the game itself? Right?
correct. So Stan's idea was he wanted to make a game about some of his ancient culture, and we thought that was great. We wanted to
Let 'em run with
represent
it. That's very, and so this is going to be available how and when?
It'll be on Kickstarter starting July 10th,
July 10th. Okay.
leading up until Gen Con.
So this interests you? That's something to keep an eye out for moving forward. Thanks again, Kirk, for giving us an overview of this. And of course, we got. We should mention.
We should have mentioned the
We do
miniatures.
have, plenty of miniatures here as well, right?
I didn't want to feature them as much because it's really a Euro style game, and the miniatures are just eye candy on top
Yes,
of it.
but they are
They're
a very
pretty
nice eye candy. Look, there's nothing. People do love their miniatures. So, look, thank you again for giving us the overview, and to all of you again. Until the next episode, thanks for watching.
awesome. Thank you.
Awesome, really good. That looks really cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's nice when you build a game like this and you offer. It doesn't have to just be combat the whole time. If that's not your thing, you can still win doing trade or developing and taking over lands. That sort of thing. So,
Yeah.
paths to victory are nice. Well, good luck with this. I hope it goes really well.
Thanks for your time.
You bet. Oh. Oh, no worries. So just do a little thanks again for the overview. Shit, just hang tight. We'll do one more little wrap up there. Do you want me to start from like when's the Kickstarter going to be? Okay. And so when is this going to be available?
This will be available July 10th on Kickstarter.
On Kickstarter, right,
Until
okay.
about Gen Con.
Okay,
Right
excellent.
before Gen Con.
Well, listen, thank you so much for giving us an overview. One thing we didn't quite mention was these miniatures.
Yeah, they're
That's
pretty
the
awesome.
aspect of it, right?
Yes, we've got a lot of sweet miniatures. There's 69 miniatures in the game. Some of these are the 40 millimeter scale, and then 28 millimeter scale for some of the basic troops.
Right. Okay. Well, again, thank you so much for the overview, Kirk. And to all the rest of you, thanks for watching.
Thank you.